This is my new $5 bicycle. I don't think it's any kind of antique, but it's made in the U.S., so that impressed me. As did these big, thick spokes. I really like that. And I've just been wanting a cruiser for a while. Got a little issue with the seat there. So the rust is really bad in a couple of places. I think it must have sat someplace where the rain fell right on, like that or something. We'll see how well it cleans up. I'm hoping it'll be a rider. We'll find out. Tires dry rotted. First thing I'm gonna do is hose it down, see if the tubes will hold air. Alright, it's about half an hour's work of hosing it, wiping it. Tried getting the chrome, see how much chrome was left under all that rust. And so I just did the aluminum foil with WD-40 trick on it. And you know, I could get a lot more off, I think, but it just sort of gives you an idea. Front ones came out almost perfect, but there's a couple spots where the rust went through the chrome there. Yeah, that should clean up perfectly. That, I don't know. I was able to tweak the seat back, and you know, yeah, he's worth a ride now. Alright, quick demo of the aluminum foil on rust trick. I think the idea is supposed to be that aluminum is softer than the chrome. I wouldn't swear by that, so do your research. But, you know, if it was something really valuable, I would probably not just jump right into this. But this is it's a beater bike. There's still some more to go, you can see, but you know, compare that to that, and it's a definite improvement. Woohoo! Alright, here's where we are on the chrome right now. This is not, I have not put serious effort into this. This is just like preliminary. That's never going to go away. Pretty sure I can get that out. Yeah, I think it's going to look nice. I think it looks pretty good the way it is. Patina bike. So I don't know if I mentioned it before, but what caught my eye on this was that it was made in USA. Worksman. So, you know, if it had been a Walmart Chinese special, I would have passed. I figured this would be worth it. So we had us a little problem. The tire decided to blow out the side. I have to figure out this morning. Luckily nobody was riding it when it did it. But is it just because the tire is old and worn out, or maybe what I'm hoping is somebody just stuffed the wrong kind of tube down inside of it. We'll find out. Oh, and at the same estate sale where the bike was located, I got another one of these. This is just like the one I inherited from my dad. I think it'll take about, I don't know, a good solid minute to run down. I like it. Hey, look at that. I have never actually seen a bicycle tire blow out like that. Like I said, I hope it's just the wrong tube or something. Well, I think I'm going to be in luck if it does turn out to be the tire. I would like to save those tires. I think they're pretty cool looking. I found out this is an industrial bike. I did some research on that company, Worksman. Yeah, these go for like $400 or $500. So, you know what's funny is I actually paid more for the bench grinder than I did for the bike, and if I were in this to flip it or something, I would be doing much better on the bike. I think just the way it is right now, I could probably get a couple hundred for it. Just for the people who like patina. But I like patina, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, I was afraid I might have thrown these tires out because I bought them years ago for another bike, and they turned out not to really work as well as I'd hoped because the rim on that other bike was narrower than this. But this will be perfect if I have to use them. But I don't want to use them. I'm hoping that that's a tube and not a tire issue. But we're going to find out. Well, it turns out that the tube and tire are correctly matched, so that's not my issue. I am going to take the opportunity while I have a part here to go ahead and clean up some of this. I couldn't get to with the tire on the bike. And as you can see, the tires themselves were not made. Not all these, the tire, the tube, and the, I forget what you call these things, all made in Taiwan. So I don't know, you know, it's a made in America bike, but you know how that goes. Sometimes it's assembled in America. Components sourced overseas. So yeah, it looks like the rear one's getting ready to do the same thing. That rim is perfectly straight, but the tire's got a bulge in it somewhere. Where is it? Yeah. So around here. It must be getting ready to pop out the same as the other side. And I have it, you know, it says inflate to 50, and that's what I inflated it to, so yeah. Notice something on this. Check this out. I have never seen a bike hub designed like this. It's just a straight through. You know, that's the bearing is inside of this assembly here. But you know, if you've ever played around with old bikes, you know that's not common. That's typically you will have the outer race of the bearing will be part of, will thread on, and so you know I expected I would have to unscrew this in order for that to come out, but that's interesting. Yeah, so I tried to eliminate both potential issues. I put a new tube and used the newer tire. And it looks pretty cool. I still like the industrial look. I think that's kind of badass, but I don't want to be... I think I'll have a higher chance of success with this. I hate breaking down on a bike. So I removed this shield. Was thinking I would repack the bearings in here, but it's a little more complicated than that. I've never, as I've said, I have never seen a front hub put together like this. This is much like what you would see in a rear hub. But yeah, it's pretty heavy duty. I don't know if I'm going to get into this today. I've got other stuff to do. I figured, you know, it'd be a real quick thing to take this apart. And I was already in it this far, so I might as well do it. But, that may just have to wait for another day. I may or may not have the proper spanner for that. If not, then I don't know. I always hate, pounding on these things and, what people end up doing usually. So, I'll wait sometime when I have a chance, if I don't have one, to make one that will fit it correctly, and then go from there. Alright, all back together on the front. There's still, this tire likes to do kind of the same thing. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Now this is a 2.25. The other one was a 2.125, so maybe I'm exceeding. I don't know. Let's see how she does. So I'm just going around knocking some of the rust off of the chain before I oil it. I had hit it with some WD-40 earlier, but I haven't oiled it. I mean, I could take the whole chain off. Maybe I ought to do that. Put it in some rust remover. Or I could just keep doing this and oil it, and I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Yeah, so part of the reason I don't want to take the chain off, this is very odd to me. Chain link mechanism. The ones I've seen in the past, you would just find the link that has the odd size plate, and that one's the one that's meant to be pushed out. Whereas this looks like this pin needs to slide off this way, and then it comes apart, and it looks like the kind of thing that once you get apart might not want to go back together again, or might deform, I guess, is what I'm worried about. This is just a neat thing. I remember seeing this on a real old bike once. I don't often come across it. It just allows you to set the tension of your, straighten your wheel with tension on the chain, and have it be straight before you actually start torquing down. Because typically without this, you find yourself, as you're torquing down, things want to move, and you're just sort of cussing and all that. So anyway, that's a neat little feature. I think should be on all of these kind of bikes. Alright, so all that footage up until now came from about 10 months ago. It was in February that I bought this, February of 2020. And so I shot a little bit of footage of getting it cleaned up a little bit, and I never did show it completed. And so just wanted to shoot. That's as good as it got, which is good enough for me. Front rim was about perfect. A little bit of rust on the front fender that never did come off. There, see there? Yeah, that's through the chrome. A few spots on the chain guard are the same way. Rear fender, big spot up under there, and that big spot on the side. And the rear wheel is basically, that's as good as it's getting. But this, I've put about 100 miles on this bike. We went right into COVID season, about the time that I got this bike. So my wife and I rode around the neighborhood quite a bit. We have a little 4-mile loop that we do, and so it was pretty much perfect timing, and I've been happy with it. It's geared a little low for my liking. I'll ride along, like my daughter has a cruiser. It's a Schwinn, and you can tell hers is geared higher. Um, and I actually reached out to the manufacturer and said, hey, what would it take to get one of the either get a bigger front sprocket, or they also sell as an option a 3-speed rear wheel. And they said, well, if you've got the Newsboy, which I'm pretty sure that's what this is, you've got the big sprocket on it. That's what came on it. It's a 44 tooth, and the other one is a 36. And if you want, you can get a new rear wheel with the 3-speed mechanism, but it was either 217 or 270. I can't remember. Out of my budget for this bike. But yeah, it's been great. I've enjoyed it. I'm planning to put a motorcycle mirror on it at some point when one comes my way. But I've been enjoying it, and I'm kind of excited about the fact that yes, you still can buy an American bike, American-made bike. They just look up Worksman, and you can go to their website, and they've got a bit of a backlog right now because of COVID. A lot of people are, bike riding now. But, it's expensive. It's about 4 times as much to buy this as to go into Walmart and buy yourself a bike. But, I don't know. If it's in your budget, I think it's worth it. Merry Christmas.